realistic and pragmatic orientation of our age, it would not be eccentric in the future to contemplate a society in which those who live for the pleasures of the mind will no longer have the right to demand their place in the sun. The writer, the thinker, the dreamer, the poet, the metaphysician, the observer, he who tries to solve a riddle or to pass judgment will become an anachronistic figure, destined to disappear from the face of the earth like the ichthyosaur and the mammoth. This book is about how to hold open that place in the sun. It is a field guide to doing nothing as an act of political resistance to the attention economy, with all the stubbornness of a Chinese nail house blocking a major highway. I want this not only for artists and writers, but for any person who perceives life to be more than an instrument, and therefore something that cannot be optimized. A simple refusal motivates my argument. Refusal to believe that the present time and place and the people who are here with us are somehow not enough. Platforms such as Facebook and Instagram act like dams that capitalize on our natural interest in others and an ageless need for community, hijacking and frustrating our most innate desires and profiting from them. Solitude, observation, and simple conviviality should be recognized not only as ends in and of themselves, but inalienable rights belonging to anyone lucky enough to be alive. The fact that the nothing that I propose is only nothing from the point of view of capitalist productivity explains the irony that a book called How to Do Nothing is in some ways also a plan of action. I want to trace a series of movements. 1. A dropping out, not dissimilar from the dropping out of the 1960s. 2. A lateral movement outward to things and people that are around us. And 3. A movement downward into place. Unless we are vigilant, the current design of much of our technology will block us every step of the way, deliberately creating false targets for self-reflection, curiosity, and a desire to belong to a community. When people long for some kind of escape, it's worth asking, what would back to the land mean if we understood the land to be where we are right now? Could augmented reality simply mean putting your phone down? And what or who is that sitting in front of you when you finally do? It is within a blasted landscape of neoliberal determinism that this book seeks hidden springs of ambiguity and inefficiency. This is a 4-course meal in the age of Soylent. But while I hope you find some relief in the invitation to simply stop or slow down, I don't mean this to be a weekend retreat or a mere treatise on creativity. The point of doing nothing, as I define it, isn't to return to work refreshed and ready to be more productive, but rather to question what we currently perceive as productive. My argument is obviously anti-capitalist, especially concerning technologies that encourage a capitalist perception of time, place, self, and community. It is also environmental and historical. I propose that rerouting and deepening one's attention to place will likely lead to awareness of one's participation in history and in a more than human community. From either a social or ecological perspective, the ultimate goal of doing nothing is to wrest our focus from the attention economy and replant it in the public, physical realm. I am not anti-technology. After all, there are forms of technology, from tools that let us observe the natural world to decentralized, non-commercial social networks that might situate us more fully in the present. Rather, I am opposed to the way that corporate platforms buy and sell our attention, as well as to designs and uses of technology that enshrine a narrow definition of productivity and ignore the local, the carnal, and the poetic. I am concerned about the effects of current social media on expression, including the right not to express oneself, and its deliberately addictive features. But the villain here is not necessarily the internet or even the idea of social media. It is the invasive logic of commercial social media and its financial incentive to keep us in a profit.